How are we getting on, guys? Luke here from LAGFX. We are back today with a new Sunday Sessions video. If you are new to the series, it's basically where we choose a few pairs that we feel hold good potential for the coming week, and we break down some of the analysis we have performed on the pairs that we are looking at. And as a result, this gives you guys the opportunity to not only learn how we analyze and trade the markets, but it also gives you guys the opportunity to potentially place some positions in these markets that we go through and profit alongside us. Now, there are going to be some things that I go through today that might not make sense to everyone. And if that is the case, then please leave a comment below on whatever it is that you are struggling to understand, any concepts, terminology, anything of that nature. Leave it in the comments below, and I'd be more than happy to create a video based on that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through three pairs today. We've got the Great British Pound to the US dollar, we've got XAU to USD, so the gold to the US dollar, and then we've got the Australian dollar to the US dollar, so AUD USD. I'm going to run through my analysis, giving you some key areas and zones that you guys can go and apply to your own charts, and hopefully they will set you up nicely for the coming week. Now, the first market we're going to start off with today is the Great British Pound to the US dollar. So you can see here that take profit has been achieved as of recent on this pair, which is brilliant. We took profit whilst I was actually in Amsterdam. So if you watched last Sunday Sessions video, you'll know that I was in the process of traveling to Amsterdam. Now, what we have seen since is price actually trade up and into this area in price. And if you remember from last Sunday Sessions, I wanted to see price trade in and reject nicely to the downside. So anyone that watched the last Sunday Sessions video and placed short positions based on that, you should be in some really good profits at the moment. Price is currently trading at a 1 to 5 RR. So as we know, when we place any positions from areas of interest, I always set my stop loss just above areas of supply, and then for any bullish positions, it's just below the areas of demand. So this trade here, as I say, is running at a 1 to 5, just shy of a 1 to 6. So very well done to anyone who got involved in this market based on the analysis that I performed on the previous Sunday Sessions video. What I'll do now is I'll actually throw up a little segment from the last Sunday Sessions video, just so you can see that I did actually suggest this being an opportunity to go short in.
Now, my thoughts for this market moving forward is I would love to see price trade up and into this area of supply. Once it trades us up and into this area of supply, I want to see price break down and begin trading us lower. Now, my reason for this is if we go to the daily time frame, you can see that this market has been trading us in a bearish way for some time now, giving us the laws of bearish structure. So realistically, we want to be looking for those bearish opportunities.
So as you can see from that little glimpse there from the previous Sunday Sessions video, we analysed and predicted this move perfectly. Now, for those of you who missed this opportunity, how can we look to take part moving forward? Well, what we need to do is we need to look at this leg that's moved lower. We need to find areas of interest that we feel price may come to trade up and into before a continuation to the downside. I can see here that from this low to this high, we have bullishness after a dip to the downside. So that for me straight away is standing out as an area of interest for us. Now, to further refine this zone, what we should be doing is looking at the impulse that broke the structure to the downside. Well, the break of structure was here. These were the two candles that broke that structure. Well, as we can see, as we zoom in, you can see here that we have a wick. If I just change my cursor just to make it a bit easier to see, you can see that we have a wick here to the downside. We have a wick here to the upside. So this suggests bullishness in a bearish leg. Now, as we know, this is actually considered a hidden order block. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mark this out as an area of interest for us. Why? Because I feel that price may come to trade up and into this to set an initial lower high before continuing to trade us lower. Now, you can also see that it's actually within this area that we mentioned earlier, which is brilliant as we've got two areas of interest, one that's more fractal than the other, that's in the same area in price. This is just a little more refined. So now as we go down on the lower time frames, you can see that this area here is more specific. So what we were actually marking out was this doji candle, which is clear bullish orders. Now what we've seen after that is another wick to the downside followed by a wick to the upside. So this is bullishness that's actually mitigated this doji candle. So I would actually be wanting to refine this area in price even more to this area here. Now we could also say, well, there's a fair value gap here as well. So from this, the top of this wick to the bottom of this wick, and this again could be another area of interest. So what I'm going to do actually is have these two areas marked out, and we're going to see what price trades up and into. Everything else seems to have been mitigated. Doesn't seem like any other clear areas of interest for us to look to get involved in short positions from. So what I'll be doing now is simply waiting for price to trade us up and into one of two areas now, delivering us with the parameters we need in order to enter into short positions, and then I'll be looking to get involved. So it'll just be a case of price trading us up into one of two areas before a continuation lower. This setting the first lower high before a continuation in a bearish way. What I'll also do for you guys now is actually mark these areas out specifically, so you can go ahead and pause the video and mark them out for yourself. Brilliant. So I've marked those two areas out for you now. As I say, pause the video now, guys, and mark these areas out for yourself. Wait for price to trade up and into them, deliver you the confirmation you need in order to execute a position, and then get yourself involved. We could really take advantage of this market in a short way and potentially walk away with some brilliant profits. Now, let's just say that you wanted to get involved here, but you are worried that the area you're getting involved from is going to be absorbed. You could just set your stop loss just above the second zone. Yes, your stop loss is going to be a lot larger, but there is still room to walk away with some amazing profits. You can see here that we'd still be walking away with a 1 to 7. So that may be an option for those who may not want to wait for confirmation to enter, or those that might be too busy and just want to set pending orders. Now, on the off chance that price does reject well, we could walk away with a really refined entry here, a 1 to 25, and then the same applies if we got involved from the likes of here. We would walk away with a 1 to 16. So the opportunities in this market are endless, and we could really walk away with some brilliant profits this coming week. So that's my analysis for the Great British Pound to the US dollar. Now moving over to XAU USD. So you can see here, looking on the 4-hour time frames, I was under the impression that we were going to see a head and shoulders pattern based on the last Sunday sessions video. That's what it was looking like. However, we have just surpassed the last high that was created within this market, creating a new higher high. So this market is still showing signs of bullish structure. However, we have been delivered with a fractal break of structure to the downside here on the 1-hour time frames. So I am hesitant to get involved in any bullish positions just because price is showing good signs of some bearish movement taking us lower. Now, price has just traded into a unmitigated area in price. We've seen that price has rejected well from this. However, price does now look to be absorbing this area of demand. And I do believe price will continue to clear lower. Now, I want to obviously look to get involved in this market. And you might be wondering, well, where can we look to get involved in this market from? Well, there are a few areas of interest. What I'm going to do is mark these out for you now. So we've got this wick to downside by wick to upside, represents bullishness. And we also have this one up here. This is another area of interest for me that I would like to see price trade up and into, which also covers this unmitigated last buy to sell region. So there's two areas there that I wouldn't mind seeing price trade up and into before we look to get involved in this market. And I truly believe that it will deliver us with the opportunities we want and need in order to profit well in some short positions this coming week. So again, very similar to the Great British Pound to the US dollar market, we want to see price trade up, come to set a lower high before trading us lower in this market. Now, this is on the basis that my technical analysis plays out. As you all are probably aware, we've had an attempted assassination with Donald Trump, which has encouraged the gold market to absolutely soar. This is because you know, the US dollar is depreciating on the back end of this news, which is only going to increase the value of gold, with gold being the base currency, the US dollar being the quote currency. The reason why it depreciates the US dollar is because this isn't good news for the US. This is actually causing a lot of worry and concern for the US economy. Hence, why we have seen such an influx in the gold market as of recently. So, based on my technical analysis, I definitely want to see the market go short. However, with recent news and events with Donald Trump and the people he's been talking with as of recently, I do believe that we may see a continuation in this bullishness here. So this is a market that I'm a bit hesitant with, and I will be playing it by ear. But those are my areas of interest for this market. Okay, now finally to touch base on the Australian dollar to the US dollar. This is a market, as we can see here, that has been trading us in a bullish way, trading into these areas of demand and rejecting well to the upside. We have just recently seen some rejection from an area of supply. I do think that this is only temporary before a continuation in a bullish way. I want to see price trade down into either this or we have an unmitigated area here as well that price may reject well from. And then we also have this area here as well. So there's three areas of interest for this market that I would love to see price trade down and into before continuing to trade us in a bullish way. We've seen price respect these areas of demand very well, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. So what I'll do is I will mark this out as an area of interest for you all, just so you guys can go ahead and mark that out for yourselves on your own charts. But yeah, I truly believe this is a market that is going to trade us higher longer term. Looking at this respectfully on the higher time frames, we can see here how price is respecting these large areas of demand. We've had multiple breaks of structure to the up and downside over the course of the last 6-7 months, but again, I think this is just whilst price is preparing for this larger move to the upside. You can see that looking here on the weekly time frames, price is simply pulling back, probably to grab more demand before it continues upwards. So I would be hesitant to look for longer term shorts and I'd be preparing for longer term buying opportunities. These are three brilliant areas that we could look to buy into this market from. Me personally, how am I looking to tackle this market in the coming week? If I'm being completely honest with you, I'm probably going to hold off from placing any positions just yet. I want to see how price plays out over the course of the next few days. However, if you were really wanting to get involved in this market and look to ride the market short, be waiting for price to pull back into this candle here, this 1 hour candle, at least giving you the confirmation of a continuation in bearishness, which would come from a fractal break of structure in and around this area and price before looking to get involved in any short positions. Now, on the basis that this area is absorbed, we could then look to ride price as low as this zone or the zone that was lower that we had set in the market. But this area here is 0.6722. This is somewhere we could potentially look to go short from, assuming we are delivered with the right confirmation to do so. But I am ultimately preparing to go longer term with this market. There's the details of the area and price for you here on the right hand side. But yeah, that's actually going to summarize this Sunday sessions video. Quite brief, but what we did is we went over some key areas of interest. Some key areas of interest that I think you guys could really take advantage of. Again, we just need to wait for the right confirmation parameters before we get ourselves involved in these markets. I think it's very important that we aren't preemptive and we just place positions because these zones and areas exist. I think it's very important that we wait for confirmation once price trades up and into or down and into these zones, as that's what's going to give us the highest probability of being successful in these markets. Now, as I said to you guys at the start of the video, if there is anything you're unsure about, whether it's supply and demand zones, breaks in structure, fair value gaps, fundamental analysis, anything of that nature that you're struggling to get your head around, please leave them in the comments below. I'll make a video based on those topics. And if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. Hopefully the background noise has been a lot better in this Sunday sessions video, a lot better than it was last Sunday. As I said to you guys before, obviously I was in the airport on my way to Amsterdam and really wanted to get a video out to you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Sunday sessions. I'm wishing you all a very profitable week, and I'll catch you all in the next Sunday sessions video.